Yeah, so my name is Michael Klassen. By no means am I a master of marketing, but I'd love to share with you what I think works best for us in the restaurant franchise world. There's my ugly mug right there. I went to school here in Calgary. Don't know if there's fellow Canadians in the audience, hopefully. But was able to go to the University of Calgary. I was fortunate enough to play collegiate ball there, and then as well as play professional football afterwards. And after retiring, maybe at cause of some injury, but regardless, I got out somewhat unscathed. I joined forces with the Joey's franchise group, and those are our three big brands. Kind of, you see the logos up top there, as well as we have through COVID created a couple of ghost kitchen brands that we run out of those restaurants as well. So lots going on. Our team is always very busy, but these are some insights that I'd like to share with you today. So as we all know, traditional marketing, as the marketing efforts kind of put forth pre-internet, it was all the same delivery methods, TV, radio, billboards, and print media for what seemed to be hundreds of years. So marketing agencies probably found a rhythm of advertising and a certain way of doing things and could stick with those methods for years to come. But enter digital advertising. It seems almost every day there's a new social media tool, CRM, or vendor app that can do the next latest and greatest thing to get your messaging out. So digital marketing is an ever-evolving landscape. And now that we're reliant on algorithms and new privacy laws changing frequently, it seems that we're having to devise new ways on yearly, sometimes even a monthly or weekly basis to get messaging out. So how do we adapt and evolve with it while putting our best foot forward and doing right by our franchise partners? So as I stated earlier, I run the marketing department for a group that runs multiple brands under one roof. So this is especially challenging because we have very distinct audiences and target demographics that vary from brand to brand. So everything from brand voice, contextual targeting, and overall messaging has to change when we're looking at putting out marketing material. So from Joey's being created in 1985, we have a very, let's just say, more seasoned demographic that comes and eats at our stores. And then, enter the new brand Streets being only 5 or 6 years old. We're after the newest demographic that is after the everlasting chase to desire and to always be checking out the newest and latest and greatest things. So with Streets, we have to be able to pivot a lot quicker. So as the seminar is very franchise focused, I want to talk quickly about the challenges we face as a franchisor, as I'm sure a lot of you listening have to tackle the same hurdles, not necessarily just in the restaurant industry, but whatever franchise or franchisor you are part of. So, and then finally, I want to focus on, what we at the Joey's Franchise Group are focusing on moving forward. So over the last 4 years in my role, I can honestly say I think we tried it all, or at least most of it, through trials and tribulations, these new apps and tools and methods of getting our message out there. And I think I can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm excited to share with you at the end what I think we should be focusing on moving forward. And obviously, everyone has different things to talk about. And the last seminar talking about Google, I'm glad we're kind of on the same page with how important the whole Google stuff is. So 15 ways. So these are 15 kind of reasons why we think, digital has really carved out a very important niche in all things marketing moving forward. So I'll try to go through these as quickly as possible. I know I'm on a limited time here, but number one, you have a limited audience and targeting reach. Traditional methods often lack the precise targeting capabilities available in digital advertising. So it's leading to a wasted ad spend. So they lack the precision of digital targeting. You send out flyers, you look at putting out billboards or TV or radio ads, you really don't know the reach. Maybe it's the whole city, but what if I want to really drive people in my neighborhood that has the walkability score and within 1 kilometer? Well, we can do that digitally. Obviously, number two is it comes at high cost. Traditional advertising such as TV, radio, print ads can be very expensive to produce, and and distribute, especially for smaller businesses with limited budgets. And us as a franchisor, we don't take, a 10% marketing fee. We take 3%. And included in that is obviously our salaries and a lot of, housekeeping things before we can in turn spend on our stores. So for the cost of one flyer that I don't even know who's on the receiving end of that flyer, I can home in and potentially reach hundreds of potential customers through digital advertising. Number 3, limited tracking and analytics. I mean, I know you guys over at Promo Republic are analytic freaks, but how do you do that with, more traditional methods? I'm sure there are ways, but it's obviously a lot more effective when you can sign into an online dashboard and see it in real time. Radio, TV, billboards are impossible to track effectiveness, and sending out coupons or doing a flyer drop with some kind of deal is really the only way to test effectiveness. And we know for a fact that redemption rates are far below 5%. Number 4, inability to personalize. So traditional marketing offers minimal personalization. So digital methods allow for tailored messages which resonate better with the audience. Again, when we're putting out 5,000 flyers, it's going to cost us a lot of money to try to figure out all the different demographics within those 5,000 people and send out a bunch of different creatives. But with digital advertising, we can have multiple creatives and messages pushing different aspects at the same time. Number 5, ineffective for mobile users. With the increasing use of mobile devices, traditional marketing methods may not effectively reach consumers on the go. Did you know that the average person is spending upwards of 5 hours a day on their cell phone? So why wouldn't we want to reach people where they are? And they are for a huge portion of their life. Number 6, inability to interact in real time. So traditional marketing is a one-way communication channel. Digital marketing allows real-time interactions and feedback. Number 7, it's slow to adapt. Traditional marketing campaigns take a lot longer to plan, create, and launch. In contrast, digital marketing can be adjusted quickly to respond to trends or customer feedback. Like if I see a trend on TikTok or a food trend I can capitalize on, realistically, I can film or create content and get it up on the same day. Anything traditional, you're probably looking at weeks, if not months, by the time you coordinate with the vendor or the advertising service or the radio station or the broadcast channels, whatever it may be. It's going to take you all longer. The trends may have already come and gone. Number 8, environmental concerns. Now, this is something most people don't think about, but many traditional marketing methods, such as print materials, can be environmentally harmful, which can negatively impact the brand's image. So it's something not a lot of us think of when we're constantly throwing out dozens of pieces of junk mail every time we unload our mailboxes. And restaurant brands especially have been under the gun as of late to reduce our carbon footprint in the form of reusable, recyclable, or compostable takeout supplies. So in turn, aren't we doing the exact opposite by sending out 5,000 flyers boasting our newest and latest food item or couponing? Number 9, I'm almost there, guys. Sorry. Ineffective at building relationships. And I'm going to touch quite a bit more on this later in the presentation, but traditional marketing is less effective at building and nurturing long-term customer relationships, which digital channels facilitate through ongoing engagement. Put it this way, if you send a coupon book in the mail and have a QR code for a loyalty club on the back, my guess is your sign-up rate will be close to 0. But what if we sent out a coupon digitally, but in order to receive said promotion, they will have to sign up digitally through an online lead form to your loyalty club first? See, now we're talking. If you haven't heard of chatbot marketing, such as ManyChat, I would highly recommend looking into this, as it is something we have discovered has a very high success rate. In a nutshell, what it is say we advertise a promotion, the call to action is a click to Facebook or Instagram Messenger, which by the way have way better open rates than email. From there, we'll kindly ask them for their contact information, then send them the strong promotion in return. See, now the fun really begins as we can set up automated follow-up messages, other offers, and most importantly, we can export their info into our other CRM, whether it's MailChimp or another automated kind of email CRM. So they can now be included in our regular messaging that gets sent out to all our loyalty club members. Number 10, lower engagement rates. Obviously, we've touched on that one. Traditional marketing methods often have lower engagement rates. Digital marketing allows for interactive content that encourages user participation. I mean, going viral is everything. And with people's short attention spans and the way the algorithms work on social media platforms, creators and businesses are rewarded for creativity and capturing someone's attention. So when we're creating videos for social media, we try to prioritize watchability over everything. If you're the business just plain Jane putting out content with blah messaging, it's no wonder you're not seeing the results you wanted. So with our brand Streets, it's a very young, fun brand. We really try to have fun when posting reels, TikTok, shorts, stories, whatever you want to call them. And in fact, we will do things wrong on purpose to try to solicit that engagement we need for that algorithm to then push our content out for others to see. So obviously we're not going to try to put our brand in a bad light, but just by simply like pronouncing words blatantly wrong or cutting food products terribly has helped some of our videos go viral. Case in point, if you can see kind of a screen grab of our TikTok account, you'll see a video that has 17 million views just because my manager cut a cucumber like very terribly. And everyone has to put in their 2 cents and everyone's commenting on it. This guy's terrible, whatever. It doesn't necessarily show our food in a bad light, but it brought us 17.6 million views, which is absolutely crazy. So we've gone viral multiple times doing this, especially on TikTok and Reels. You're just trying to solicit that engagement, get people talking. And, I know the younger demographic, they like saying like, just trigger somebody. So besides doing things wrong or being absolutely ridiculous, we've gone viral many times creating value in teaching, as well as creating content relative to our target customer base. So example, like we have lots of young employees that work at our location. So we create content around the day-to-day things that happen in the restaurant industry, and people love commenting and engaging with it as it hits close to home and they can directly relate their own life experience to the content. So, I work with marketing budgets in excess of hundreds of thousands of dollars each year. And I would say our reach over the last 2 years, posting organically, has far outweighed our paid reach, once we kind of discovered how to beat the algorithms, or so we think. I mean, we're not perfect, but number 11, global reach. As a franchisor and a franchise company, we are trying to open locations all over North America. So for example, we're running campaigns in Florida right now, trying to get a store open down there. So we can really hone in through Facebook, Instagram on a specific location, or maybe we find a location first that we want to open a restaurant in, and then we can run advertising, within 5-10 kilometer radius, looking for that franchise partner. I don't think you could do that using traditional methods. We're not calling the billboard companies up in Florida to run a billboard campaign. Number 12, very important, very limited data collection with traditional, and obviously everything digital, we push to get our customers contact information. 13, limited content flexibility. Obviously, as I spoke earlier, you're looking at text or static images essentially. With digital, you can have very unique content, obviously short form video, et cetera, to really broaden your creativity. And then 14, obviously just print decline. I mean, I remember getting a newspaper as a kid delivered to our house every morning, and I think that newspaper is completely online now. So if the traditional methods are going to online methods, then why aren't we, right? And then just overall 15, overwhelming digital presence. I mean, everyone spends all day, every day on their phones, on their computers. Even when you're at work, you're on your computer, you're on the internet, you're seeing advertising all day, every day. So it's just, if this is where we need to reach people, why don't we get there, right? All right, that was the 15 ways. Sorry, that was a very lengthy slide. So challenges we face in the franchise world. I mean, people buy into franchises for the reputation, the logo, and most importantly, the proven model of success. So I always like to think of it as a Lego kit, right? Us as the franchisor, here's the Lego, here's the instructions, but we still need somebody to put it all together, right? Um, but why buying into a franchise is not always a guaranteed success? Well, a lot of times it comes down to the operator and the willingness of putting in the sweat equity. So whether a restaurant or any other type of franchise system, partners must put in the work in order to see success. There are no guarantees in this world. Poor service, poor execution will deliver nothing but poor results. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're operating McDonald's or Subway, the signage above the front door is not enough anymore. The biggest chains, the biggest franchisors will have failing locations. So the biggest challenges we face as a franchisor is buy-in from our partners to get involved in their specific communities and push their own businesses. After all, even being the franchisor and having partners that run individual franchises, we want their local community to feel that that is a locally owned and operated business, because this is what the new generation cares about. The new generation doesn't support chains like the older generations. So getting involved in local communities is super important, in my opinion. So partners must establish themselves into the local community so people know and trust that this person cares. So another thing we've done as part of our marketing program is create a plethora of programs for our partners to use at their disposal, such as, a fundraising program, school catering, hot lunch program. We encourage them to sponsor local events or local markets, and especially, local youth sports teams. It goes a long way in establishing a foothold of a locally owned and operated business into their local community. So even just getting out in their local community and setting up collaborations with other local businesses in the direct trading areas will pay huge dividends. I mean, we're kind of a strip mall brand, meaning, we're not a one-off like what you'd see at Chick-fil-A or McDonald's taking on 3,000 square feet. So we're usually, 1,200 to 1,500 square feet as part of a bigger strip mall. The first thing we do to encourage our franchise partners is go talk to the other local business owners, make sure that they know that they get a discount, whether it's 10%, we call it a local merchant discount, to come into their store. And in turn, hey, maybe we can leave, some takeout menus on your counter. And hey, would you like to provide us with some business cards for your business? I mean, landlords are very particular about who they put in strip malls. So you're usually not competing with somebody, within the same food trend. Actually, one of the most effective marketing campaigns we do and have ever done is just getting out and sampling our products. So if there's other food brands listening to this, there's no better way to sell food than by giving away food. There's a reason they still do this at grocery stores and Costco, because it works. And it's almost because the customer feels indebted to you, even though that's not our intention. But over 50% of the people we reach by sampling in our local market will return to make a purchase. So if I go sample 20 fish tacos to 20 different people that are walking in front of my store or picking up at different shops, they obviously are in that area because they're in that area probably often. And within the week, I'll probably see 10 of those people return, either pick up dinner for their family or pick up lunch because they work in the area. I mean, it's so effective. And it's just like, it's a lot of these local store marketing initiatives that have the most success, even beyond, pushing thousands of millions of dollars on Facebook and Instagram advertising. So beyond these programs, we push our partners to just have trust and everything that we do as well. So when our partners are wanting to do another coupon or flyer drop, we try our best to show them the numbers and explain why there are more cost-effective ways to market their business. And now let's talk about brand direction and consistency. So another challenge we face is, as much as we want to push our partners to post to their social media accounts, we also have to do a lot of reining in, especially when it comes to them using outside branding elements, colors, unapproved logos. Obviously, this is where Promo Republic comes in. We've been on promo for about 1.5 years now, and I'm not trying to sell promo, and I'm here on my own. I'm not I'm not under the gun here. So, promo actually works, and it's awesome because it's given us the opportunity to give our franchise partners access to their online portal to make it as easy as possible, wherein we put in a bunch of creatives, we put in our brand guidelines and our fonts and all that stuff. So then they can in turn go and post themselves. Again, it's easy to open your doors as a franchisee and fly someone else's flag in hopes they do everything for you. But the reality is, at some point, you need to go above and beyond and go sell your business yourself. You have to solicit more business than might naturally just stumble across your store. So this brings me to my last point, and that's just giving a damn. Now, I wanted to say give a shit, but I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on this, but now I'm probably going to be in trouble anyways. But anyways, so the best correlation between having success in a franchise restaurant or any business for that matter is just giving a damn to do all the things necessary to attract customers and keep them coming back. In fact, if I ranked all our stores from highest to lowest sales, I could tell you that our top performers are getting out in the communities. They pass cleanliness and customer satisfaction inspections with flying colors. They boast high Google scores, which in turn is representative of how they run their business from day to day. They're securing catering jobs and talking to customers about their lives and letting them know about our school fundraisers. I mean, the list goes on. So giving a damn about cleanliness and customer service is the best marketing you can do, because restaurants, like every other business in the world, cannot be built efficiently on a one-time customer visit. Doesn't matter if you're selling a house, a car, a rocket ship. I mean, repeat business is the driving force of success. So why wouldn't you do everything necessary to make every customer's experience a great one? How do you deal with adversity and customer complaints? What are people's initial perception of your business when they first walk in? Are you greeting them? Is your space clean and inviting? This all makes up just giving a damn. So why talk about these things? Because it's hard to train someone about the importance of these things, and is probably the biggest challenge we face as a franchisor. And I'm sure a lot of you can agree with me on that. So obviously, very simplified statement, but this is the roadmap to success for any business, or so I think. How do I attract new customers? Then more importantly, how do I encourage them to keep spending money and coming back? I mean, restaurant businesses are especially challenged as the economies of scale are limited, usually geographically. People only travel so far for food, and with such fierce competition in local markets, how do you stay ahead and attract your fair share of the market? I talked earlier a bit on how we attract new customers, and obviously the world is your oyster when it comes to trying new things, especially in the digital marketing world. And no, I do not have a list of 101 things I'm going to bombard you with. I know I scared you with that list of 15 earlier, but from running any traditional marketing to the 1,000 ways to get the word out digitally, here's some of the things we have tried and tested and implemented in our marketing strategy. From geofencing to influencer campaigns, obviously Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, not only ads, but as well as frequent posting, listing management services. And I know the last speaker, he was talking about Google and how everything needs to be queued up. There's a vendor out there called Marquee, and they kind of do this for you. So you have one dashboard and it duplicates everything to Yelp, to Google, to Uber, to even apps you've never heard of. But what that does, it really helps your SEO and helps you rank higher with Google, because everything is consistent, and consistent is key when it comes to Google. And then there's reputation management tools. We've tested one called Ovation, and it's a great tool to be proactive in your approach. It's one thing to respond and be reactive to answering Google reviews, but what if you could be proactive? And that's kind of what Ovation does. Is they solicit kind of a quick survey by doing a contest for $100 gift card, right? 2 questions. How was your experience? If you rank it 5 stars, it just automatically asks you to leave a Google review. If anything 4 stars or less, it automatically takes you off the website into the manager's messaging tool, where you can then handle the complaint and hopefully get that customer back. Now, being proactive in your approach is so important. Obviously, we've tried radio, television, billboards, We've tried it all over our 37 years of business. And no, I haven't been around for 37 years because I'd probably be a pretty good looking 55-year-old. Programmatic advertising, I always pronounce that one probably wrong, but essentially everywhere else on the internet where people are, where you're buying audiences within a very specific demographics in hopes to get their attention. The list goes on, and in the coming slides, I'll be excited to share with you what we found most valuable. But this is all great. But again, without returning customers, everything spent on step number one ends up being a great waste of money. You all know the 80-20 rule, meaning 20% of customers will make up 80% of revenue. This is so true, as returning customers make up less than 30% of your total guests. So what if we could change this number just by a couple of points in our favor? Well, the growth then ends up being exponential. If you could get just 5% more returning customers, revenue in turn ends up growing by upwards of 20 to 30%, because we know the lifetime value of a customer is so expensive. I actually think in the restaurant industry, it's close to $6,000. And with an average guest check anywhere from $20 to $40, that's a lot of repeat business. So again, restaurants are a very particular marketplace, as everyone needs to eat daily. So by increasing frequency of visits, average guest check, and of course, getting customers back and spending more is the most important thing in my opinion, that restaurant and business owners need to focus on. So how do we push our franchise partners? By coaching them and encouraging them to give a damn. I'm going to keep coming back to this give a damn. So here are 5 quick tips to increase return visitors. Keep your quality consistent. Again, Lego kit. All the tools are included in a franchise system to be able to execute, but when you're dealing with food, you'd be surprised with inconsistencies from location to location. Did they cook it too long? Not long enough? Did they use the right amount of ingredients? When prepping sauces and salsas, does the 16-year-old minimum wage worker give a damn when portioning ingredients on certain food items, all which could change the outcome of the product? It all plays a part. Tip number 2, create personal connections with customers. How can you leverage existing customers into additional sales? By talking to them. Everyone has someone they know that is looking for one of the numerous programs we offer outside of the regular foot traffic. Can we set up a catered lunch at their business? Is their kid trying to raise money for a school team or club? I mean, opportunities are endless if you just talk to your customers. Tip number 3, reward your repeat customers. Build a loyalty club. We're going to get that into detail on the next slide. Tip number 4, provide outstanding service. In my personal opinion, people are more likely to return for customer service over food and atmosphere, which I would say are the big 3 pillars of running a successful restaurant. So I'll give you a quick example. A few years ago, I went and ate at a Michelin star restaurant in New York called Blue Hill. Now, you may know this as I think they were featured on one of the first episodes of Chef's Table. And it's been 3 years, and I don't remember anything about what the bread tasted like, what else. I couldn't even tell you what I ate. I know it was good, but I talk about the experience and how well I was treated, right from the staff that greeted me at the door, to our servers, to the sommeliers, to the kitchen staff that came and took time to come meet us. I talk about that experience because of the customer service. Tip number 5, encourage feedback. Solicit reviews. Obviously, by soliciting reviews, it helps with SEO, in turn helps build that trust and authoritativeness when first-time customers are looking up your place to come eat. It's said that 86% of people will read, review, or glance at restaurant reviews before making a decision for the first time. So taking all this into consideration, what are we focusing on moving forward? So after the many tools, services we have experimented, these are 4 areas in which myself moving forward will be spending the bulk of our efforts in creating an action plan. SEO, if you don't know what that stands for, then you probably have not been paying attention today. So just knowing that 60% of people are going to discover us through searching online, then why wouldn't we spend 60% of our efforts on creating the best performing website to rank as high as possible in every market we're in? I mean, competition is fiercer than ever, with there being more restaurants per capita than ever. So we need to fight for every little bit so we can outrank our competitors. In order to compete, we try to not only optimize our channels and website, but also use portions of our marketing budgets to buy Google AdWords and Google Ads themselves to hopefully always pop up when someone is searching for relevant things. I mean, we plan moving forward to spending a higher percentage of our budgets every month in Google to achieve this. So when we advertise to broad demographics on Facebook, Instagram, a lot of dollars go wasted in showing people that are maybe not interested or not ready to make a purchase. Because on Google, people are making more intentional searches, when we pop up, we probably have a better chance of making an impact and hopefully securing a new customer. I mean, other things we do to help our organic SEO, or organic SEO is, tools like SEMrush. It's a great tool for keyword research as well as to track your website, how it's performing. You can also spy on your competitors and see what they're doing. Keyword research is obviously important. And with the keywords that we kind of target with the help of AI, such as ChatGPT, now we can create blogs at speeds we've never been able to do before. It used to take us hours. Somebody used to have to sit down and actually think of all this stuff. Now we can give ChatGPT a couple prompts and there's a blog. Now we're putting out 2 blogs a week, right? That all helps with putting keywords on the back of our website that, create relevant search terms. SEO, we also work with a public relations person. She puts us in touch with, the news people. She gets us noticed by bigger groups. And again, from there, we can kind of backlink those articles that are written about us, which helps with our SEO. Number 2, brand awareness. Obviously, with the help of Promo Republic, we always want to post frequently across all our social media channels to keep our customers informed, as well as spend a huge part of our efforts in that ever-longing push for the next viral video. Virality, I don't know if I said that right, as I explained earlier, is a huge opportunity to build awareness for free, especially as most of our content that does do well is using low effort creatives. If we calculated organic reach, I think I noted this earlier, if we noted our organic reach over the last few years based on our average reach across paid advertising, say you're $5 for every 1,000 people reached, it would have been an excess of hundreds of thousands of dollars we're saving by just getting these videos out there and them doing well organically. Number 3, our loyalty club. Now, building a robust loyalty club and program is something we have pinpointed as one of our main focuses moving forward. With a brand that started in the 1980s, we have been behind the 8 ball technology-wise, but with newer POS systems going in all our stores, we're hoping to have it completely integrated by early next year. So in the meantime, we've been building loyalty and email lists through pop-up landing pages, and of course, something we see the best results in, and that's strong offers in which people redeem, and in which for people to redeem, they'll have to sign up and subscribe first. And as I mentioned before, we do this a lot through ManyChat and Facebook ads. Loyalty clubs and email lists are so important to build because it might have cost big money to get that customer in the first time, or maybe you spent a few bucks in ad dollars to secure their email. But here's the fun part. Once you have their contact info and they've hopefully opted into future communications, now you're essentially remarketing to them for free. I mean, costs of the CRM aside. So as we build our list, we're constantly running analytics to see what kind of messaging or offers get the best redemptions. Fun fact, a 40% discount is 4 times more effective than a 2-for-1 discount, wherein technically the buy one, get one is a 50% discount. But these are people's perception. And again, with digital marketing, you have these analytics to continually lean on and figure out what's working for you. So we are working on a completely automated messaging flows in which once a customer signs up, there'll be a set number of messages they'll receive in a certain order to hopefully drive them in again and again. I mean, they say once you have a customer visit you 3 times, they're a customer for life. So let's try to get them in 3 times. And as I'm running out of time, we'll hit number 4, and that's reputation management. Again, this brings us back to the importance of a Google presence. And of course, the almighty sacred destroyer or maker of businesses alike, the Google score. So ask yourself this: would you eat at a restaurant with under a 4-star Google score or Yelp score? I know Yelp's huge in the States, not so much in Canada. But the answer is probably not, unless it's somewhere you absolutely love and trust because you have been going there since a kid, or maybe a fast food restaurant because, let's face it, you know exactly what you're getting into and you'll probably be able to live with the outcome of your visit. Beauty of true fast food joints is it's pretty consistent across the brand, as execution in the kitchen has been so streamlined. That, and people are not going for fast food for amazing customer service and great atmospheres. So fast food is a service usually of convenience and nothing more. But consider this: if having a high Google score is so valuable, then you would think business owners would do everything in their power to make sure they boast a good one, as well as try to limit the bad reviews. Sadly, and maybe some of you can attest to this is almost always overlooked, especially in our business, being that of the franchise model, which comes down to what? I'll bring it back one more time. That's giving a damn. I mean, how long does it take to really sit down and reply to a few reviews every day or so? Especially with everyone being accessible on what? Yes, our phones. I mean, everybody poops, right? So, rhetorical question: how many of you take your phones into the bathroom? There are two types of people in this world: people who are on their phones on the toilet, and liars. All I'm trying to say is it doesn't take much time to follow up with customers online to ensure complete compliments are thanked and complaints are dealt with. So we push our franchise partners to solicit good reviews from regular customers, as well as answer and respond accordingly to bad reviews. Knowing that their 3.7 Google score is hurting their reputation and in turn business is unfortunately not included as part of their daily priorities. So you can't outmarket an operationally deficient business. And I like to always say that your operations and how you run your business is your best form of marketing. Again, I will reiterate, a business cannot survive on a one-time customer visit. So what can we do as a franchisor to help push solid 5-star reviews for our franchisees? No, I'm actually just asking a question. We gave them the Lego kit, we gave them the instructions, but what they do with it, unfortunately, is not always the best thing for their business. So again, I'll bring it back to Ovation, the reputation management, which is great in theory and works for some businesses, but unfortunately can be costly. But why can't we just do this ourselves, for especially those just starting out, or maybe individual franchisees that want to go above and beyond what their franchisor's national program includes? And that's maybe offer a small discount for customers in store to leave a review. Maybe run a gift card contest encouraging customers to fill out a quick survey, then prompt them for review after 1 to 2 questions answered. Best of all, if you have that automated loyalty club conversation set up, maybe it's the first thing you ask for after they visit your store. So these are all things. I have one more slide here. It's going to be really quick. I know I'm definitely over my time, so I apologize. But this is one thing that Promo had asked me to touch on, and that's how we leverage a smaller team. And, you know, with the help of Promo Republic, we're able to automate all our day-to-day tasks, meaning, you know, scheduling weeks and months in advance. I mean, we operate over 70 brick and mortar locations, and then in combination with our ghost kitchens, we have well over 100 Facebook pages that we post for. So scheduling and putting content that can duplicate out to a bunch of different pages is very important. Number 2, we love outsourcing monotonous tasks like website building. I mean, with Fiverr and Upwork, you have freelance workers all over the world that do amazing work, and you know, you can take that work out of house and honestly get it done a lot cheaper. Same with graphic design, stuff like that. And then number 3 is just leveraging, you know, user generated content. It's just, you know, there's people coming to our stores every day that are taking photos of our food or awesome videos. So why not leverage that, turn that into an ad, especially because the foodies, they always take amazing content. There's a reason they built a following like they did, because they did a great job, you know, with their creatives. They have nice cameras, they bring the lights in, and they love to collaborate. So why not leverage what they're creating for you to push on your own accounts as well, or run ads behind it? And then just, I guess, creating backlinks with posts and articles that have been written about your brand. That's another way to leverage third-party content to help your your brand, your business succeed. And that is it. Thank you so much. This is, if you wanted to connect with me on LinkedIn, I put together a little QR code there for you. No pressure, and I'd love to hear more and connect with some of you guys. So thank you.